Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of this is my 57 life driving around. Anyway, what are we talking? Oh, I gotta reverse this camera. I meant to go this way. Anyway, today, so my mommy, I didn't do the carburetor video. I'm going to do that next week. I apologize because this week's been crazy. I told you, my mom and dad are here, and today my mommy rode around in the car with me. I didn't film it, but we had a lot of fun. We drove from their condo on the other side to Costco because that's where we wanted to go and had lunch. And she said the car drives very nice and very smooth. And she remembered the 57 that we had a long time ago that when I was a little kid, she drove around every day. That it rode much harsher and wasn't as nice riding and didn't drive as good. And that was nice. And she said this car isn't loud either. It drives really nice. It's not as loud as I was making it out to be, which it isn't. It's not super loud. It does make noise. Yeah, it does. No problem. So today I wanted to go through what I noticed, not on the drive today specifically, but driving this thing every single day, every day, for 80 to 100 and, to say 120 miles every single day. Surfing, whatever, working, driving around, cruising. I don't usually go much faster, maybe 55 or 60. And the reason being is I have this slight vibration, not like I had with the clutch flywheel debacle, but at like 2,500 RPMs, which is close to like 50 with this. With these 410s, I notice like a vibration coming in about 2,250, 2,300. It starts to come in, and then it grows, and the shifter starts to shake a little bit, does a little vibration action, and then it'll go away if I go above that towards 3,000, like about 27, 2,800, it kind of goes away. And I've tried it, different gears, or not different gears, but it's always at that speed, which I've changed the U-joints twice in this thinking maybe I had a couple of bad joints, and that wasn't it. What I've determined is that I have a drive shaft that is out of balance, which makes sense. If you remember the drive shaft I put in this car, it is rusty and been sitting for 20, 30, 40, whatever years in the parts car. Was it in the 56? It was either in the 56 that cut apart or the 57 that hood came from. Not sure. I don't remember. But anyway, I have a slight vibration. So I made a phone call to Toby at Southwest Speed, which same place I got the drive line for several vehicles. Clear to Hawaii, everything. A 2.5-inch steel driveline, Ford, 1310 to 1310 to R3 or whatever that joint is, with an 1.5-inch cap that's 3 5/8 wide and 3 7/32 standard GM shaft to Ford 9-inch standard 1.8-inch cap, rear joint, and a 27 spline, whatever turbo 350 yoke for this transmission is. Brand new, balanced, all that stuff. I think shipped here is around $300. Not bad for a 2.5-inch steel balanced drive shaft that's 54 inches long with new U-joints in it. And they're good, not junky U-joints, or the good ones, not the Chinese ones. Not thinking about China. I'm just saying the steel is better when it's not recycled. I'm not sure exactly what I'm saying. It's better steel, it's stronger. You guys know what I'm saying. Anyway, things I noticed driving this. A, the vibration. B, fender well headers. See those? They are so nice. But this fender, she's hot. I just came home. So it's really cool when I set my 5-gallon water jug right here on the hood when I'm going surfing that's full of water that heats it up. So I have a nice warmish shower, and then the sun helps it. But for driving, it does several things. Let me explain it to you. Like Farm Marshal Bill used to say, let me show you something. Hold on. Hold, please. Hold. Technical difficulties. Hold. There's my watch my wife bought for me. Check that out. Surfing watch, 80s style. Almost as cool. Well, it's cooler than the old swatches. Oh, my phone is telling me a low battery. Too bad. We're going to keep filming until it dies. So if it goes like that and we're done, then you'll know why. Anyway, look at that surfboard. $250. Okay, hood up. Okay. Hood prop rod. Where are you? What's hot in there? Hood prop rod. Here. And there. Dan, by the way, I have another one of these latches, this whole assembly. If you need one for your 150 or your convertible, I have this whole thing Nice blue painted. Where is that? Is it in here? Is it up here? No, it's here. But if you need it, I'll send it to you. Because I know you were saying you didn't have one. I don't know where it is. I have no idea. I don't know what I did with it. Don't ask me, but it's here. I'll find it if you need it. Okay. Pay attention, class, closely. What is close to this header right here? Oh, brakes. That's right. Can you see the paint that is coming off down there where it's all bubbling? Now, why would that? Oh, that's hot. That hurt a little bit. Ooh. Okay. Why would I have trouble with this? Do you know what okay, this might be your car quiz, a new car quiz. What does the reference on brake fluid for dot 3, 4, and 5 mean? Huh? On your fluid, brake fluid? We've talked about this. What does that mean? I'll tell you, it's temperature. Has to do with boiling points of whatever. I forget what the whole deal is. Anyway, now why would that be curious here? That's a very interesting question. Why would that have issue if it gets super hot? If the brake fluid gets superheated, what happens? Do you remember physics class, kids? What happens when stuff gets hot? Expansion, right. What happens in a brake situation if you expand a fluid? Is that the same thing as moving the master cylinder piston? It's real similar, yeah. So what happens? Oh, does stuff expand and things have to move, get compressed? They do. So rotors compress and so does the brake. What's the easiest stuff to compress? The big piston in the brake rotor that's always, or the brake caliper that's always dragging, that's giant? Or the tiny little pistons in the wheel cylinders that have to move a lot pretty freely. They don't really have much spring pressure before the shoe moves. You guessed it. So what would I have? Brake drag, right. Only in the rear, and only after I drove for a mile, and only after it reached temperature heat here. That's what's going on. I'm going to have to charge this battery and get to the next video. Oh man, I really did cook that. I need to put some ice or something on that. Ice water, run water. I'll be back in a little bit while this phone charges, but think about that for a minute, kids, because I have a couple things to tell you about that and how to check it and avoid it. Hold please. I'll be back in a minute. Just like that, we're back. And yes, this is still hot. The other thing that drives me nuts is this squeaking noise from right here on this pin. You get a squeak, squeak, squeak every time I go over down the road. Oh, it's right there. It's shiny. Huh. So what to do about that? I don't know. Grease it? I don't know. This one doesn't do it. Should I make this hole bigger? Should I knock the pin? Should I knock the pin that way? This pin, not, there's no pin there, this pin. Should I knock this pin this way? Should I make the hole bigger? Where is it? There. Should I make the hole bigger? I don't know. But anyway, back to that. So, here's the other thing that's going on. And this is what happens, kids. As fluid expands, how do I explain this? Imagine you're going to have a hot tub party. And you filled your hot tub up to the, you got the tile line around your hot tub, and you filled the water up, and you got it up to temperature where you want it to be. It's great. It's fully expanded. And then you hop in. And let's say some other friends hop in. And the water level rises and eventually spills out over the top of the hot tub. Why is that? Well, water molecules, that's hydraulics. That's what it is. It's Bernoulli's theory of like hydraulics. If you push on any surface of any liquid, water, whatever, all of the molecules exert the same force all the way around themselves, to each other, whatever. And they go against, so like the outside surface of the pool or the hot tub, it can't move it. So path of least resistance, what's that going to be? Open air, because the water molecule is stronger than the air molecule and it'll push up. It's not stronger than the side of the fiberglass tub, or in this case, the brake fluid is not stronger than the sides of this master cylinder, or the lid of this master cylinder. But it is stronger than the rubber gasket. And so fully full of fluid, clear to the top, gasket on. When it expands, when it boils, basically, because this cooks it, it also forces itself down the lines through the valves, makes the brakes drag in the rear, because that's the way the mass cylinder is valved. Without the proportioning valve, by the way, that's a different problem. And it also forces itself up and comes out the seams and leaks down the side and drips everywhere on the ground, which makes my paint come off my steering column and my firewall. Because that's what brake fluid does. It is water soluble, or it's hygroscopic. It absorbs water. So, which means you can flush it with water. If it gets on your paint, hit it with water real quick and neutralize it quickly. It'll just dilute it so fast. But that's going on. So pay attention, kids. So now my reservoir is now a 1/2 inch from the top is my full level. So it gives it room for it to expand. Same thing we talked about in the radiator. Remember that? That's why you have the expansion tank, or the top tanks have the top tank, and you filled it up to the level over the core, but left the whole thing to expand. You need to think about that. If you're running fender well headers and you're driving it a lot, or you're racing and you're going round after round after round, and you might be thinking you're slowing down, there's a quick way to check. Reach out and grab the hubs on the front of on your wheels. Just grab the hub. Grab this wheel right here. Cold. I just did roughly 100 miles today. Cold. Grab the back. They're cold. If one of them is hot, you're dragging. It should be equally. In this case, it was the rear dragging. And guess what else was suffering because of that? That's right, gas mileage. It was totally suffering from that. So now what's it doing now? I don't know. I drove it yesterday down the hill, did a bunch of surfing, came back up the hill, went down the hill and came back up the hill and used less than 2 gallons. Doesn't make any sense to me. But it was roughly 40 miles. No. Yeah, I don't have to calculate it out. But so with the 411s and doing roughly 45, 50 miles an hour, this thing is sipping fuel without a drag. And the other thing I noticed is it rolls a lot easier. That should have been the first clue. This is not a heavy car. It should not have been hard to push. But there's a lot of thickness up here. Between this ear and this ear, there might be some extra space or some thickness before the gray matter gets attached and then comes through the signals and the synapses and whatever. That's what's going on. Now this thing will roll real easy. It cruises down the road. When I shift, there's no drag. It doesn't feel like it's being held back, like it's a brick moving through the. I mean, it has the aerodynamics of a school bus. This thing is about as aerodynamic as a billboard. So, let's face it. It's not. I mean, it just kind of knocks the wind out of the way. It just tumbles out of the way. It doesn't really flow over it really good in a wind tunnel. It just knocks it silly, so get out of the way, and some of it gets sucked in there. So that's not real aerodynamic, but. That's what we got going on, kids. Finding stuff out on the road as you drive your car. So my point is, drive it. Pull your car out. Drive it in all kinds of weather. Rain, snow, super hot summers. Drive it in traffic, fast speed, drive it. Just drive your car. Test them out. And don't drive them just once, because you got to figure out what normal is. Remember we talked about in the gauge? Normal readings? What's your car normal noises? I don't know. Drive it. Drive it all the time. Do it. Drive it. And then you can fix these little tiny things that bug you, because they will come up. At first, I thought this thing was wonderful. After I fixed the flywheel, it was so smooth. Everything was great. But then I started noticing little things. And that's what's going on. We're solving those little tiny problems. I.e., I will be going through these carburetors and making this thing. It doesn't stumble. It just. I might be a little crazy, but I can feel it. I'll tell you a story time about that later. Remind me to tell you a story about the broken valve spring in the Impala SS. Remind me. Because people don't believe me, but it actually happened. Anyway. That's it. Aloha. And don't forget, kids. 4 speeds. Right there. There it is. Cute. Gosh, it's cute. Surfing is great. Everything is wonderful. The car's looking good. Pipes are running clean. It's really... Oh, man, I'm happy. Thanks, George, for that bumper. I should have put it on. No, I haven't put those on yet. But I'm loving it. Blue dots, the whole thing. I love it. Having the time of my life. See you guys later. Aloha. Where's my hood pins? Where's my stuff? Where's my puppy? Puppy! Puppy! Yeah! Good girl, baby. Good girl. Okay, let's go in the house.